I'm going to be installing some 2015 style tow mirrors on my 2008 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. These are from Boost Auto Parts. They have the strip lights and the clear lenses. They also have turn signals and running lights. I'm going to be using a 10mm socket and a small screwdriver and a large screwdriver, and I've got like a medium size there, and those nylon pry bars. I already have the one installed on the driver's side. I'm going to go over how to install it on the passenger side. It's going to be pretty much the same way, but this is the new mirror mounted. I didn't have to do any leveling on my truck of the mirror itself. Everything mounted up. This is the factory style tow mirrors that came on my truck new. We'll start by prying this off here. And right here underneath the door handle, you have to put a little screwdriver under there, pop that up, and that little panel right there pulls off to reveal those two bolts. Underneath the door handle, there's this little silver thing. You just put your little real small screwdriver in there and pry down on that so you get the gap in it. Once you get the gap in it, I'm going to have to use two hands, but that right there pulls straight off that little device that it's pulling up when you pull up your door handle. But you'll see if you pry it down like that, just pull straight out on it with your other hand and it comes right off. Once you've got that off, get your little screwdriver in there and pry this piece off. And that reveals that bolt right there. Next, I'm going to use my 10mm socket, and I'm going to remove this bolt here, this bolt down here, those two that are in there, and then that one. Note that these two here with the shoulder washers on them, they came from right there and right there. Now I'm going to put my pry tool in here and I'm going to pry this piece up. Once you get it like that, you can pretty much get it with your hands. It just pulls straight up. Now that reveals the wiring harnesses on the back of the switches. As you can see, there's on this one, there's that little piece right there that holds that one on. And then on this one, you're going to push in on this side right here on that little part that's sticking out right there to pull that out. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Just like that. Now the other one, I'm probably going to have to put a little screwdriver underneath to pry it off, but you see how they come off right there. Now on the latch, take your little screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and put it in from the top and just pull out on this little tab right here. And this right here slides straight off that bar. Next, I took my nylon pry tool and I put it in right up here and slid it down to the bottom, and I pulled this corner loose first. So now it's just a matter of taking my fingers and pulling out on the door panel and go all the way around to pop them all loose, just like that right there. Now it's loose. Once you get it loose, just pick up on it and it'll pull loose from the door just like that. On mine, there's this little gray piece here that's holding the mirror socket up under here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this out of there. Just like that. That'll free that up. Then I'm going to get this wiring harness out of the way and twist the door panel sideways like that right there. So what that's going to do, that's going to allow me to go ahead and pull this piece back. There's some rubber back here, And I'm just going to slowly pull down on it, and I'm going to take a little scraper tool, and I'm going to pry that stuff off the door like that black stuff, and slowly pull that off so that way I can use it to stick it back on with. Okay, so once you get it down this far, that's pretty good. I just went ahead and stuck that little wiring harness right there in that hole to hold that back. So what I'm going to be doing to feed my wires through that wire loom here, I'm going to access through this hole here. That's for my cargo lamp, my courtesy lamp or cargo lamp. That's also, I'm going to be running my signal and running light wires down through there. So after that, just pull this piece of foam out. That reveals the 3 nuts and washers combinations that hold the mirror on. So you can go ahead and take all 3 of these off, because this plastic piece right here will hold it in the door and keep it from falling out. So you can go ahead and take all 3 of those off. Here you can see I went ahead and took off all 3 of the nut washer combinations, and the plastic piece is still holding the mirror on there. Now I'm going to take a tool and pry these little clips off the door that hold the wiring harness on for the mirror, and I'm just going to remove that. All right, now I've got the wire disconnected for the mirror. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push in on these tabs right here with a flathead screwdriver, and then pull the mirror out from the other side. That's what I did. I took my new mirror, pushed my wires through the hole, and then pushed that plastic clip through the hole. And as you can see, that's what's holding it on now. So I'm ready to go ahead and put my 3 nut and washer combinations on there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to torque this top one down. And then I'm just going to keep going around torquing them down, because there's a piece of foam that's between the mirror. And so what you got to do is kind of just keep sandwiching that down till it gets tight. Otherwise, it may shake while you're going down the road. All right, so I went ahead and hooked up this harness here, and also this one right here. This one right here is for the courtesy lamp. It's on the side of the mirror that shines down the side of the truck. Just kind of gives you more visibility on the side of your truck so you can see what you're doing. So I reached down through this hole in there, and what I did, I pushed down on this part right here and popped this out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take something and I'm going to feed from the inside to here, or from here to the inside. I'm going to feed a piece of hard plastic or something through there, and then I'm going to tie my wires to the end of it and with some electrical tape, and then I'm going to pull them through that wire loom right here, this flex loom. All right, now I've got this fed through there. What this is like a little spray tube for spraying seafoam into like a carburetor or fuel injection system. You could also probably use something like a weed eater line or something like that, but this is what I chose to use because it won't punch through this rubber here, and it won't damage the wires, but I can already feel it on the inside. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to loop this over like that, and I'm going to loop my wires over too, and I'm going to take both sides. I'll show you that when I get it all taped up. So what I did, I bent this piece of plastic tube over, and I made a loop with my wire, and so I taped it together here, and then I taped my wires together that I looped through that loop. And so now I'm just going to take and pull all that through there. Just like that. So to snap that back into place, and I want to show you what I did right here. I just wire tied that up and ran that running light wire with the fuse right there down through that hole. My other two wires, of course, they go through here. You can run those down through that hole too if you want to. So next, just go ahead and stick that foam piece back up there and go ahead and put everything back together in reverse of the way you took it off. This lip right here on the top, it has to go in the groove up here. Just go ahead and look at your other door that you before you do it, so you can kind of get a look at it and see how it goes on this top up here, because it has to get in that groove, so it can be kind of tricky. So you may have to lift the bottom up and get that started first. That's how I did the other one, and then fold it down. But it's a precise fit. Now I'm going to run my wires over to the driver's side. As you can see, I've went along these wires right here and just put a little piece of electrical tape about every foot or so. Right here by the emergency brake on the driver's side, where the wire comes from the door here, I grounded it, both the mirrors right here from where I ran the wires over from the other side. I tapped the white wires together and the red wires together for the running lights. I ran them through this grommet here in the firewall. It's right. Okay, the red and white wire came through the firewall right there on that grommet, just in here behind the fuse block. I put them in this piece of flex loom and then routed them over here to the fuse block. As you can see, the white wire right here, I put it in a fuse tap and tapped it in onto number 14, which is the vehicle backup. And then the red wire, I hooked it in right here, which is number 24, which is the right parking. You can pick these fuse taps up on Amazon or eBay or wherever, and it just makes a nice, easy, clean way of installing them. All right, I've been using these boost mirrors for about a year now. Still 100% completely satisfied with them. I haven't had any issues, no shaking or anything. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. Thank you.